warmly welcome to the Shakma English Lab channel, a wonderful place for improving your knowledge through English. I'm Jane. Today, we discover Vietnamese traditional music. From folk songs of mothers that stay children to sleep to melodies that help us mollify tiredness and hardship in labor from ancient times. Vietnamese traditional music, together with ethnic musical instruments, has been profoundly penetrating in its present life. This is an identity impossible not to mention when we talk about Vietnamese culture. In this video, Shakma English Lab has selected and introduced 3 types of traditional music, imprinting characteristics of people and lives from the north to the south. 1. Vietnamese ritual singing. According to historians, this kind of music originated during the Zhou dynasty from 1225 to 1400 and developed most prosperously at the end of the Nguyen dynasty, the late 19th century to the early 20th century. Vietnamese ritual singing has originated and thrived mainly in the northern delta. It includes the dance and singing ritual associated with the beliefs of worshipping the mother goddesses and the Duc Thanh Trông to describe marriage, a well-expressed devotion and faithfulness. Besides, Ho Dong receiving incarnations of the deities praying for God to bless and protect people. Maybe that's why lyrics in Vietnamese ritual singing are often taken from folk poetry, literary works of prayers to the gods, which are written in the 6th age poetry by Simmons, so they are very familiar to listeners. The main musical instruments include the moon lute, the brass drums, the castanets, the flute, the monochord, etc. They contribute to creating sovereign, magical, but equally joyful and energetic melodies. Not only that, but the Vietnamese ritual singing also borrows other traditional tunes such as Hoa singing and love duet to make it flexible and diversified. Nowadays, although states implement many policies to limit this type of music due to the fear of superstition and illegal profiteering, Vietnamese ritual singing is still noticeably developed because of its uniqueness and beautiful cultural values. In 2016, the practice of the Vietnamese beliefs in the mother goddesses of 3 grams was recognized as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. We cannot deny that Vietnamese ritual singing dramatically contributes to this achievement. 2. Huế Royal Refined Music. UNESCO recognized Huế Royal Refined Music is a masterpiece of the oral and intangible heritage of humanity in 2003. So, how special and meaningful in this type of traditional Vietnamese music? The Royal Refined Music was first introduced in the Lý dynasty and the Nguyen dynasty in the ancient capital of Huế. It reached its new peak, more methodical, more sophisticated, and more plentiful. The elegant music is usually performed at important and formal festivals such as experiment ceremonies, funerals, or welcoming the ambassador from other countries with elegant lyrics, splendid costumes, and a manner to show luxury and nobleness. Therefore, the Royal Refined Music is considered a symbol of the longevity and prosperity of the feudal monarchy. The Royal Refined Music consists of various music such as music ceremonies, stage, chamber music, etc. All are taken care of, developed, and performed closely in harmony with the best artisan. Musical instruments are sculpted carefully and constructed more sophisticated than folk instruments, including the moon lute, the Chinese four-chord lute, the Vietnamese two-chord fiddle, the bamboo flute, combined with the percussion, etc., creating pure sounds reaching emotion. King Bảo Đại abdicated, marking the end of the feudal regime of Vietnam, which was the end of the royal refined music. However, it continued to live forever with the national culture when we still hear the singing on the Hương River, in ancient Việt Thị Đu, and in the hearts of every citizen. 3. Vietnamese Reformed Theatre. It can be said that this is one of the most famous traditional music twice, especially in southern Vietnam, where cải lương is formed from the music genre in Mekong Delta region. In terms of meaning, cải is reform, lương is circulated. Development is reformation as well as innovation in both content and formality from the art of Vietnam classic opera and then spread to the next generation. Significantly, the theme of Vietnamese Reformed Theatre being eminently diverse from Lục Vân Tiên, Kim Vân Kiều of the ethnics to the stories of France and the West has shown openness and dynamism in receiving the cultures of the southern people. A reformed theatre played not only by the actors on stage is also made more vivid thanks to the orchestra, including the zither, the monochord, song lang, the bamboo flute, the Chinese vocal lute, and so on. The bold, colorful, and mysterious makeup is also a highly typical feature of the Vietnamese Reformed theatre groups. Through the short story of Nguyễn Ngọc Tư, Cuối mùa nhan sắc, Vietnamese Reformed theatre is depicted as a reason for laughing. It is the intense passion of so many actresses and actors, or Song Lang, one of the rare Vietnamese films on the Reformed theatre topic, also happens to know more about Saigon in the 1960s and 1970s, which were the period of the prosperities of cải lương, fostering in and out the lives of people who earned by singing, and the importance of Vietnamese Reformed theatre in the lives of the people at that time. Thank you very much for watching. Have a productive and enjoyable week of learning and working.